practices a couple generations ago were to till the land a lot. Even summer fallow was quite common. But since the introduction of fertilizers, we've been able to get away from summer fallowing, which is essentially just tilling the land for 1 year. So you only plant every second year, or even every third, or 2 out of 3 years. So that has largely gone away. There still is a little bit, but the direct seeding is we leave the crop residue from the previous year in the field. We don't go and till it. So that the straw or residue that stays in the soil helps keep moisture in the soil. It works as an insulation. And as well, the root structure from that previous crop holds the soil together. So we have significantly reduced the amount of erosion that we used to see from both wind and water. So when the soil was loose and dry, and we got a big wind, it would blow. And if a big rain event came, or even spring runoff when the snow melts, that would often wash soil away too. So we're protecting that valuable topsoil. So that I would say is probably the major change that we've made that has improved our soil structure and really been a benefit to the environment. But we've done that voluntarily. It made sense for us to do it. It reduced our costs a little bit, but it looks after the land better. Like our organic matter has been building in the soil since we started doing that. There's always ways to improve, and I mean, I've seen that just in my lifetime. And my dad probably saw that before I was born, where they made improvements. And so, yeah, I think farmers are always striving for ways to do better what they're doing now, to create more with less. One example, in the last, probably 30 years, we have increased our wheat production about 30 to 35% on the same land base. And in doing that, we've reduced our energy consumption by, I think, about 6 or 7%. So the overall production, we've increased our production about 40% with less energy on the same amount. So that's through a variety of ways. So just agronomics, as I mentioned, we're not tilling as much anymore. And bigger equipment, the use of GPS, global positioning systems, so satellites. We're not overlapping. We're much more precise than we used to be. So all these factors are things that I've seen happen in my lifetime, and I'm sure it's going to continue happening. We're going to keep becoming more efficient and doing things that are going to be more beneficial to the soil and the air and water. I've yet to meet a farmer that likes the carbon tax. For one thing, it places us at an economic disadvantage over any jurisdiction that doesn't have it. So even within Canada, provinces that don't have it, we are at a disadvantage to them because it increases our costs without compensation for it. When you put that on an international stage, other jurisdictions in the world, which are our competitors anyway, if they don't have something like that, it increases our cost without increasing anyone else's. So we're paying more without the return back. So a lot of times our margins are quite thin as it is, quite narrow. So we have, when there's another cost put on top of us, that puts even more pressure on our bottom line, on our profit margin. So it's something that hasn't been too popular in the farming community.